Hello, my fellow insurables. I'm Kelly with Arrow Final Expense, and today, instead of having a specific topic, I'm just going to answer the most commonly asked questions about life insurance that I get. So here we go. Number one, is a medical exam required to get life insurance? Well, the answer to that, luckily, is no, not anymore. Now, typically, if you were going to get a pretty high amount of life insurance, maybe $2 million or more, then a medical or physical examination would be required. But anymore, insurance companies will just ask you some questions about your health, your lifestyle. Do you smoke? Maybe some of your family history, and then they're also going to check that against your MIB, your Medical Information Bureau report record, and they can see, just how healthy or unhealthy you are. Who should be the beneficiary on my life insurance policy? Man, usually people are going to choose, a spouse, a life partner, a child, other relatives, a parent, a sibling, sometimes business partners also get life insurance on each other. So those are some of the common ones. And then here's kind of a follow-up to that. That's my dog entering the room, Luann. Can I change my beneficiary after I've started a policy? And luckily, the answer to that is yes. Sometimes things happen. Maybe you get divorced, because here's another fact. If you get divorced, the life insurance company doesn't know, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to change that beneficiary. So if you do get divorced and you don't want your ex-wife or ex-husband to be the beneficiary anymore, you need to contact the life insurance company and let them know. And just as with an ex-spouse, hey, maybe your beneficiary died and you didn't have a contingent beneficiary named, so then you would change it. Or maybe one of your relatives or whoever you named just made you mad, or you just see that they're unfit to receive that money. So you can always contact the life insurance company and make those changes with them. Here's a great one. How does the life insurance company know when someone dies, like a policy holder, an insured? Well, they don't. So if you are the beneficiary, it's going to be up to you to find a copy of the policy or get the name of the life insurance company. You're also going to need a certified death certificate, and you're going to submit that to the life insurance company in order to get the process of that death claim going. What is the difference between term and permanent life insurance? Well, here's the big difference. Term life insurance is temporary. So if you hear the word term, you can also think of it's going to terminate. So term insurance basically gives you insurance only for a set period of years, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, whereas permanent life insurance, just as the name sounds, is going to give you permanent coverage. It lasts your entire life, whether you have a whole life policy or universal life insurance. Either one of those are permanent life insurance. Which life insurance company should I go with? Who should I buy a policy through? This really depends. Now, I will say not every single life insurance company is in every single state. So sometimes the state that you live in is going to determine or kind of narrow down the company that you may go with. If you have certain medical issues, that may narrow down who else, the company that you may be able to get a policy with. And, just because a life insurance company doesn't have a huge name like Prudential, New York Life, or Mutual of Omaha, or one of those, doesn't mean that they're not a reputable company. There's probably companies you've never heard of that have been in business for over 100 years. They're just not as big as some of the ones that do massive marketing and commercials and whatnot on TV and the interwebs. Here's my next one. Can I get life insurance if I'm sick or really ill? And fortunately, the answer to that is yes. Depending on your ailment, illness, or disease, or what's going on, like I said before, that's really going to kind of determine the company that you can go with. Now, if you're in really dire straits and you have really poor health and you haven't been able to find life insurance through anybody else, there are plans, policies through what's called guaranteed issue or guaranteed acceptance. And those type of plans will accept anyone. As long as you're under the age of 85, you can get a policy with a guaranteed acceptance, guaranteed issue. They are going to be a little more expensive. And here is my favorite thing to go over, because they neglect to tell you this on TV. If it's guaranteed acceptance, you can guarantee that there is at least a 2-year waiting period for your benefit. That means if you were to pass away in the first 2 years of the policy, your beneficiary wouldn't receive the full death benefit. Instead, they would get all of the premiums back that you'd paid into it plus interest. Now, after that 2 to 3 year period is up, which is going to depend on the company, then the full death benefit would be paid. So if I have life insurance with my employer, do I need to buy a life insurance policy myself? Well, here's what I will say. Usually employee or life insurance that you're going to have through your employer is only available while you are an employee. So if you're going to retire, if you lose your job, then that policy is gone. And I would suggest that you do look into getting a policy on your own. And here's my next one. Can I have more than one life insurance policy? Yes. There is no law preventing you from having more than one life insurance policy. In fact, I talk to people all the time, older folks. They'll say, oh, I bought this policy 20, 30 years ago. I bought it and it's, $10, $20 a month. And then I bought this one and I've had it for years. So there's no limit to how many policies you can have. Obviously, you don't want to have so much insurance that you're worth more dead than you are alive. And can someone buy a life insurance policy on me without me knowing about it? Well, fortunately, no. You cannot buy a life insurance policy on someone without them knowing about it. When you apply, you're going to have to be involved. If the policy is written on your life, then they're going to ask about your health, your driving record, your criminal history, a variety of things. And they're also going to have to get your social security number. You're going to have to either sign it in person or do a voice signature or an email signature. I mean, there's a lot of steps to go through when you are applying for life insurance. So you're going to have to know about it. Oh, my favorite. What is cash value? Oh my goodness. I go over this all the time. Cash value is something that is available in permanent life insurance, such as whole life or universal life. Cash value is only available while you are living. And here's how cash value works. Every time you make a payment, money goes into the cash value, somewhat like having a savings account. And as that cash value accumulates and builds over years, after a certain period of time, after like 3 to 5 years, well, then you can borrow from it, or you can get a loan from it. You can use it to do a variety of things. Now, cash value is why whole life and universal life insurance is more expensive than term, because of the extra savings component. And thus, that is why term insurance is a lot more economical. That's why it's cheaper, and that's why everybody wants it. So there we go. That's about 8 or 9 of the essential questions. I'm going to go over part 2 of this. If you guys have other questions like these that you want me to answer, just let me know down in the comments. And if you want to continue to get the best tips, facts, and honest information about life insurance, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.